Introduction. When presenting a speech, a vast amount of information is visually conveyed by your appearance, manner, and physical behavior. In public speaking, your body can be an effective tool for adding emphasis and clarity to your words. It is also your most powerful instrument for convincing an audience of your speech, of your sincerity, earnestness, and enthusiasm. In this project, you will learn to use your body to express emotion and attitude, recognize different forms of body language, and identify gestures that show confidence when speaking in public. You will also learn how to demonstrate awareness of unintentional movement and use gestures to enhance speech content. Your assignment. The purpose of this project is to deliver a speech with awareness of your intentional and unintentional body language, as well as to learn, practice, and refine how you use nonverbal communication when delivering a speech. Overview. Prepare a 5 to 7 minute speech on a topic that lends itself to expression through your movement and gestures. Video record your presentation to get feedback from your mentor or another reviewer before speaking to your club. If you do not have access to a recording device, perform your speech in front of a mirror and make adjustments before your scheduled speech. Present your speech at a club meeting. For all assignments and details and requirements, review the project checklist, which is a PDF available separately. Assess your skills before. I recognize the importance of understanding body language. I understand how my body language communicates my level of confidence when I speak. I am able to enhance my message with gestures. I am able to align my body language with my message. I recognize how this project applies to my life outside Toastmasters. Competencies. The following is a list of competencies that you will learn and practice in this project. Understand how body language expresses your emotion and attitude. Recognize the body language used when publicly speaking. Identify gestures that show confidence when speaking in public. Use gestures to enhance speech content. Demonstrate awareness of unintentional movement. Body language is the nonverbal expression of emotions, feelings, and ideas. Your posture, movement, position, gestures, eye contact, and facial expressions all contribute to the message you send when you speak. Your body language can enhance your communication or undermine your message. Posture, stance, position, and movement. When you present a speech, effective body language is an essential tool in building credibility and connecting with your listeners. Appropriate gestures focus your audience on you and your message. Posture. How you carry yourself when you speak communicates a strong visual message to an audience. Your posture reflects your attitude and your level of confidence. Without making any changes to your speech content, you can communicate that you are alert and in command of yourself and the speaking situation. Proper posture helps you breathe well and effectively project your voice. Proper posture includes head held high with chin up slightly, back straight, shoulders squared, chest out, and stomach in. When standing, your stance is the way you position your body. The ideal stance is to demonstrate confidence includes weight evenly distributed over your feet, knees straight but not locked, shoulders relaxed, feet pointed straight ahead, not quite shoulder width apart, arms hanging naturally at your side. Practice in front of a mirror with a friend or a mentor. You should feel comfortable and relaxed. Adjust your position until you see the message you want to communicate reflected back to you in the mirror. Those with physical concerns can practice in front of a mentor or friend and ask what appears to be most confident. The best position will always be the one that feels natural and comfortable. If you are physically able, movement adds energy and variety to your presentation and helps you appear confident. Changing your position or location by stepping out from behind the lectern during a speech is the most visible kind of physical action you can perform. While constant motion such as swaying or pacing is a distraction that can detract from your message and annoy your audience, there are types of intentional movement that can be meaningful and support your presentation. Taking a step forward helps emphasize a point. Moving a few steps back creates a distance that may help your audience process information. Making a lateral movement can help emphasize a transition in your speech. Standing in front or to the side of the lectern makes you appear more open to the audience. Combining stillness with a verbal pause can add drama or intrigue. Gestures. A speaker's gestures can suggest a very precise meaning to an audience. To be effective, a speaker's gestures must be purposeful, even when they are performed unconsciously. Unconscious movement is unintentional, often a habit or a natural expression of the speaker's personality. Whether the movement is intentional or unintentional, gestures must support a speaker's words, as well as the meaning behind the message. There are 4 types of effective gestures. Descriptive gestures indicate position, location, or anything tactical. For instance, use your hands to specify a number of objects. Emphatic gestures underscore strong emotions such as earnestness and conviction. Placing your hand on your heart in many cultures communicates a powerful belief in your message. Suggestive gestures are symbols of thoughts and emotions. An open palm can suggest giving or receiving ideas or a tangible item. Prompting gestures evoke responses from an audience. When asking for a show of hands to answer a question, raise your hand to encourage audience members to contribute feedback. Ineffective gestures. Some unintentional gestures send the wrong message to an audience. You may inadvertently communicate anxiety, frustration, or other discomfort when you present by exhibiting any of the following gestures: gripping the lectern, clutching an object such as a pen or notes, fidgeting with clothing or accessories, tapping your fingers, biting or licking your lips. Eye contact. Making effective eye contact means focusing on individual listeners and creating a connection. Recognize that some audience members may be less comfortable with eye contact than others. Be sensitive by briefly making eye contact before moving on to another person. Brief eye contact acknowledges the individual without making him uncomfortable. As you deliver your speech, make eye contact with your audience members before you begin. Begin your speech by selecting one person and addressing him or her personally. Hold eye contact for 3 to 5 seconds, roughly the time required to complete a sentence or share one thought. Keep your eyes up and shift your gaze to another person. Move your eyes from one person to the next without following any set pattern. A note for the visually impaired. Members with visual impairments may not be able to make eye contact with audience members. That does not mean they cannot engage an audience. When you present with a significant visual impairment, move your head instead of keeping it fixed in one direction. Your voice will carry to different parts of the room as you shift your position and engage audience members regardless of their location. Arrive for the presentation early and orient yourself to the room. Locate the area where you will present, either the front of the room or the lectern. When it is your turn to make your speech, take the time you need to make sure you are properly positioned and lined up to face your audience. Ask another member to assist you if needed. Facial expressions. When used effectively, facial expressions can enhance your message. One of the biggest challenges for many speakers is relaxing their expression enough to communicate well when they are nervous. When anxiety is an issue, concentrate on what you can control. Practice facial expressions in front of a mirror or on video just like you would other forms of body language. Smile as you approach the lectern. Use your expression to communicate surprise, demonstrate appreciation, or show disagreement during your speech. As with most components of public speaking, practice will help you use your facial expressions to your greatest benefit.
Hello, and welcome to my Toastmasters Club, the Superlative Speakers. We're about to see part of Kathy's speech, Ways to Improve Your Memory. Kathy spoke with her mentor about ways she can convey sincerity, enthusiasm, and confidence when speaking. Body language can demonstrate all of these traits to an audience and is important for any speech. Now, let's watch Kathy's speech and see how her body language affects her presentation.
Kathy is completing her Level 1 project, Research and Present a Topic, with her speech, Ways to Improve Your Memory.
Have you ever been in a conversation with someone and realized you don't remember his name? When a friend joins the conversation, you like to introduce them to each other, but you can't. You can avoid this awkward situation by learning ways to improve your memory. There are many ways to remember names and other information. You can associate a name with an image. For example, if you make a new acquaintance named Don, you can imagine the sun rising behind his back. When you first meet someone, incorporate the person's name into your greeting so that you say it aloud. It's a pleasure to meet you, Hassan. That way you can confirm the name and the pronunciation. Rhymes and alliteration are also effective ways to remember information. That is why we are able to remember the words to the rhymes and songs we learned as children. Don't make excuses such as, I have a bad memory, or I can never remember some things. Remembering a person's name is a sign of respect, and that helps build solid personal and professional relationships.
Thanks, Kathy.
Now that Kathy has completed her presentation, let's review her body language. Kathy didn't demonstrate awareness of her unintentional movements and body language. As she approached the lectern, her posture and absence of eye contact indicated a lack of confidence and enthusiasm. Kathy limited her movement to standing behind the lectern. She remained still or shifted her weight from side to side. She frequently touched her hair, jewelry, and clothing. Her unintentional hand movements highlighted her discomfort speaking to an audience. Kathy's body language didn't enhance her speech or engage the audience. Her nervous mannerisms detracted from the overall quality of her presentation. Let's watch Kathy deliver parts of her presentation again, this time using effective body language.
Please welcome Kathy. Kathy is completing her Level 1 project, Research and Present a Topic, with her speech, Ways to Improve Your Memory.
Have you ever been in a conversation with someone and realized you don't remember his name? When a friend joins the conversation, you'd like to introduce them to each other, but you can't. You can avoid this awkward situation by learning ways to improve your memory. There are many ways to remember names and other information. You can associate a name with an image. For example, if you make a new acquaintance named Don, you can imagine the sun rising behind his back. When you first meet someone, incorporate the person's name into your greetings so that you say it aloud. It's a pleasure to meet you, Hassan. That way you can confirm the name and the pronunciation. Rhymes and alliteration are also effective ways to remember information. That is why we're able to remember the words to the songs and rhymes we learned as children. Don't make excuses such as, I have a bad memory, or I can never remember some things. Remembering a person's name is a sign of respect, and that helps build solid personal and professional relationships.
Thank you, Kathy.
From the moment she approached the lectern, Kathy's body language showed confidence and enthusiasm. Her proper posture gave her an air of authority. It also helped project a strong, steady voice. Kathy emphasized points in her presentation with effective hand gestures. She maintained good eye contact with audience members, creating connections and helping to hold their attention. Kathy's body language was purposeful and in alignment with her speech, adding clarity and sincerity to her words. Practice and incorporate the following behaviors as you are physically able. Good posture, head high, back straight, shoulders back, stomach in. Moving around the speaking area, back, laterally, in front of, or to the side of the lectern. Use natural, authentic gestures to describe or emphasize. Engage your audience with symbolic or prompting gestures. Make eye contact as appropriate in your culture. Facial expressions demonstrate universal feelings, such as surprise, happiness, or sadness. Be aware of unintentional movement, such as fidgeting or pacing. Incorporate body language that is purposeful and aligned with your speech. This concludes our speeches that demonstrate effective and ineffective body language. Thank you for visiting the Superlative Speakers. Remember that your posture, gestures, facial expressions, and eye contact are tools that greatly add to the power of your presentation. As you are able, try incorporating some of the purposeful and effective movements you saw today in your next presentation.
Too much body language. A speaker who moves frantically around the stage is likely to catch audience members' attention, but not necessarily in a positive way. Audience members may be trying to figure out what the speaker is doing rather than listening to his message. Intentional and purposeful movements and gestures support and enhance your presentation. Being conscious and aware of each movement will help you avoid agitated and unfocused gestures that can detract from your speech. Observe this person's body language and select the matching description. Cultural differences. Acceptable gestures can vary widely between cultures. An innocuous gesture in one culture can be inflammatory in another. Because of this, you must be aware of cultural differences when planning body language in your presentations. If you are presenting to a group with members from a culture or cultures that are unfamiliar to you, research common body language and its corresponding meaning in those cultures. Review and apply. In what ways can body language express emotion? Why is eye contact with your audience an important part of your speech? How can facial expressions enhance the content of your message? Why is too much body movement distracting for an audience? Why is it important to be aware of cultural differences in the use of body language? Complete your assignment. Now that you have read through the project plan and prepare your speech or report. Review. Use the menu screen at the bottom of the page to return to your assignment screen to review your assignment. That's after it's done. Select the project checklist on the left side of the screen. Review the steps and add your own to organize and prepare your assignment. That's a PDF separate from this video. Work with the Vice President of Education to schedule your speech. Prepare for your evaluation. Go to the evaluation screen and review the evaluation criteria. Print or send the evaluation resource to your evaluator.